word.
The final word.
The final word.
No running now, man.
What a day, bro.
Yeah.
What a day. We got us a special guest, Mr. Stacy Elliott. He's on his way. But obviously, before he get here, what a day with Jerry Jones on 105.3 The Fan. Oh my golly. You know,
lame duck. Lame duck.
The final word.
This the best way I can explain it. I might be able to come up with a better way, but I'm gonna throw this out here and then see how y'all pick it up. You know, all of us have probably been in a relationship that we didn't feel secure about at some point in our lives.
Right.
It's one thing to suspect that your person that you care about is up to something. It's another thing to catch him in the act. Today was catching Jerry in the act of publicly trying to bully the media.
The final word.
The final word. And Law, I shared your tweet. I don't think it's possible to say it better. Can you kind of talk about what you were saying in terms of leadership?
Are you talking about the ideology of these workers, basically?
Yes, that one.
Or like temp workers, right?
The temp worker. That was, I was like, wow.
Hey, when you are a temp worker, you only put in 30 to 40% because you know that the opportunity elsewhere is greater. And the opportunity right now is short. So I kind of made the analogy that you got coaches' contracts that's expiring. Players on the field contract is longer. They looking at it like, shoot, coach, you ain't gonna be here next year. I don't have to adhere to you. Your accountability, responsibility is not really there because the GM, the owner, don't believe in you. So yeah, people putting in half work. I talked to, and I can't give away their name. I'm like a beat reporter now.
Yes,
several coaches,
yes,
several coaches who's already checked out. They already looking for another opportunity. The moment something is there, they leave. That's within the confines of this team.
No, because Ben Johnson and all those innovative guys want to come here.
Big, you going out.
Big, it's Rick, man. What's going on?
Where's Big?
I might go on speaker. Hold on.
Man, go on speaker, man. Put in the headset.
I'm going
Figure it out, dog. We need you tonight. For real.
Yeah.
We need you, man.
We need you tonight, boy. For real.
Boy, but we got some stuff to talk about, though.
Yeah, man. We gonna have a whole crew. Yeah, we can hear you.
And remember.
Can you hear me?
Yes. You sound even better. You sound better.
Listening.
So we ain't even do no sound check. We were so thirsty to go. You hear me?
Yup.
Nah, we did a sound check. We just believe in we go figure it out. You feel me?
Yeah. Build it in your mind. Plain talk right there.
That's real plain talk. Law got me like that. Let's go.
Yeah. Maybe I just wanna run it up. Kinda check or something. I've been really in the field, let up. Yeah. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal. Lately I just wanna run it up. Yeah. Kinda check or something. Lately I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count it up, count it up. Lately I just wanna run it up. Need them ones, I need them fives, need them tens, I need that change. To the safe, got blues inside. Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses when I play, charge it to the game. I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T-Black, I'm with Revenue. I'm with I'm switching sides, now it's about loyalty. You switch sides off for the bag, and that's worth more to me. I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit. I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
I really do, man. I really do just want to run it up today.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yo, what up?
We hear you good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you good.
Yo.
I hope I know y'all missed that rant, but more is coming. And they ain't bad rants because I ain't mad.
Yeah.
Jerry mad. I ain't mad.
Yeah.
Sorry if you know it's moving around, but I'm on my phone. I apologize. Just to, I ain't trying to throw it out there, but it's birthday day. We just moving.
Nah, dog.
Whatever. But the heat is on, like that song. The heat is on.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it because all that talk is right, and you get hit with them bullets. You can't handle it because you know you wrong. You got no explanation for it, so you want to bully. And that's cool. But that just lets me know you ain't on it. So I just be telling the people, you can go ahead and go hard if you want to, but it won't be me. I'm going against that because I'm tired of it, and we all need to be tired of it too. Because if we don't keep putting that pressure on him, as soon as they win 2 or 3 in a row, it'll go back to that same thing. Stop staying in that and see what it really is.
Law.
It's a sad occasion. You know, we are
It's
the
sad.
most valued franchise in the world. One of them, right? And we pay the coaches dog food, right? And then we go out there and we don't try to go get the best of the best. Jerry Jones, that particular interview with 105.3 The Fan, he literally said, who we gonna go get? While he's complaining and talking on 105, the Jets done picked up the phone.
Yep.
The damn Bills done pick up the phone.
Yep.
Other people are operating as if they need to get better. We operating as if we can go call people that's driving Uber or Lyft or working at Walmart in the cleanup aisle, mopping floors and saying, hey, we saw your tape back in 2023 or something like that, and we want to give you a shot. Now, I'm not dogging those guys, but that's what we tend to do.
I am.
No, I know Big AJ. See, I knew.
I'm dogging.
See, Big AJ is gonna say,
You
"Yeah, I'm
don't
dogging
gotta
that
do
guy."
it. I'm always there.
All right, we gonna change the subject because I don't even want to talk about this with Mr. Stacy in here, man, for real. Because see, we gonna let them bullets fly. I don't even want him in here with them bullets fly with this. I promise you, I don't.
Yo,
All right.
It's all good, man. Let them fly.
Oh,
Let's fly,
you
yeah.
sure? Oh, you sure?
he ain't. You know.
Nah,
ain't
look,
finna fold
I'm
like
gonna
a
change this subject for real.
Hey, because the little bit I just heard, let me just say this. The little bit I just heard, you could go get other players and all that, but the problem is the calling of the plays.
Okay.
Come on,
So,
with
you
it.
see, I mean, I've never heard nobody criticize Mr. Jerry Jones about the talent that he drafts.
I have.
Well, I'm sure someone has. I don't hear it all, but that ain't generally what he get criticized for.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
Can we
I'm
agree
not
on
going
that?
against what you're saying. I'm not going against what you're saying, but when you look at the drafts the Cowboys have had, like I made a thing of since 2016 when they say they draft their own and they want to build through the draft and they want to keep their own. 2016, Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, your son's on the team still. 2017, it's only Jordan Lewis from that class. 2018, there's no players from that class on that team. 2019, Donovan Wilson, I believe, is the only player from that team. Then you got 2020, you got CeeDee Lamb, and then you got Trevin Diggs. Those are the top end players because we know this is a top heavy team. And then you go to 2021 where you got maybe 3 to 4 players. Michael Parsons, you hit on, Osa Ogadozua, I think you have Waletzko, who basically doesn't play, and then you got Mukama, who basically doesn't play either, and you had 11 players in that draft. So when we say they draft good all the time, we have to take context and see it's not great drafts all the time. These last 2 drafts have been good, but when we keep on hearing we're signing our own and building through the draft, I see things that are lacking.
Yeah, well, I tell you, when you say you're signing your own, I mean, the reality is that's not the nature of the NFL in this modern era. Nobody really stays with one team their whole career. It's very rare. Even Ezekiel coming back to the Dallas Cowboys like that, that's very rare. Dak Prescott being with the team since 2016, that's very rare. So, and I mean, you're gonna hit and miss with the draft. That's true, very much true. But the nature of free agency and how the market go, people are just not gonna stay around. Now, my thing is, if you're gonna keep people, play them at their strength.
I want to play this clip and kind of go through this clip a little bit.
Okay.
And dealing with this, because this is tough. This is a different ego trip. Yeah. For a guy who's been the guy his entire life.
Well, see, Ezekiel's been the guy his entire life, but in that he's been a team player his entire life.
Right.
Is it trying? I'm sure it is. I don't discuss football with my son. But I could say that his ego doesn't feel crushed because he's not the so-called guy. He is the guy. As long as he believes he's the guy, I mean, give him an opportunity and then say he's not the guy. Right. But if you never give him an opportunity, you can never really say he's the guy. I said it before, I'll say it again. All these analysts, all these wise people, show me film where he's not the guy. Show me film from this year he's not the guy. I'll pay you $10,000 if you can show me. If anybody can show me. And I'm talking real talk.
10 grand.
I will give him
That's
10
real.
grand. So if they can show me.
And I'm not just talking, I stand on that right now.
To be the devil's advocate.
Okay. So I've been saying I want somebody to show the film. I have seen nobody do it yet. I swear to God, I've not seen anybody put film where their mouth is. So, but I want to be straight up with you, Mr. Elliott. Everybody don't believe in Zeke, right? Even on this panel. And the thing about us on this panel.
Up. Can y'all hear? It's like.
Can you hear me? Oh, please tell me you can hear me.
You hear us?
I can hear. It's like you talking underwater.
All right. I'll say log out, come back in.
I think it's on this end.
You look good over there,
Tell him to come out and come back in.
See if you can go out and come back in. Let me see. I'm going to ask him, log out, come back in.
Maybe I'll go out and come back in.
All right, cool.
He sounds all right.
Yeah, he said he can't hear us though. He said we sound like we out of water.
Yeah, he froze. Okay, good. Come out and come back in.
Yeah, I'm froze.
Okay, I'm gonna text you. I'm gonna text you. Come out. Yo.
Y'all be patient with us, man. It's what it is. All right. But why he coming back, man? Mm-hmm. He said that's the thing. Yeah. He said, I challenge you to do it this year.
Yeah.
So we'll wait. We'll go back to Jerry while he coming.
Yeah.
But my thing is, if we're talking about showing tape and putting up money, and I feel that, what role are we talking in? If you're like, is he supposed to be the starter? Is he supposed to be getting the 20 carries a game? What is he supposed to be then?
Well,
he back. Let's ask him directly.
While he's setting that up, Big, what we discussed.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, good. What we discussed was that Zeke is a volume back. And he always been the volume back. He always been that person that needed to get more than a few touches in order to get going. Now, the thing is that he did have more touches than Rico this last game. He had 8. I believe Rico only had 6 or something like that. And those two numbers are still not good enough for this particular offense. What he alluded to is the fact that they don't know how to use and utilize Ezekiel Elliott with the kind of caliber of run plays that they have. And that's what he was saying, getting at earlier.
Yeah, I don't think we any of the backs have the volume, any of them. You know, and that's what I was hearing is like, how can any of the backs get going with the lack of volume that's going on in Dallas? That's why I think Mr. Stacy Elliott was right when he said it's the play calling. You know, why he coming back on that? What's your thoughts on that, Big?
I mean, yeah, play calling, but we don't have any explosion. You just said yourself, we had the 30-30 club. We just had it last week.
Yep.
Right.
31 carries. Rico had 20 carries. Zeke said, I like to wonder why my roles diminished. We both talked about why wasn't he in there on the goal line, because you said that's what we want to happen. We want that to happen. So I can understand why that was said. But for you to get more carries than Rico only got 5-6 carries and he got more. My thing is, what are we expecting from Ezekiel Elliott? I'm sorry. I just feel like that is past. I'm going to bring it up just like with Jason Witten, and it's not hate. But when he was gone, he retired, he came back, everybody was trumpeting, and it was a failed year. And I feel like this is more of a distraction wherein you could have had other backs, and Ezekiel probably, you just said he had some teams that want him. I wish he could have stayed with the Patriots because I felt like he was carving a niche out with that. I feel like once you've been here and now you're gone and you come back, it's just not good for the team, in my opinion. Nothing about Ezekiel Elliott's leadership, how hard he plays, anything. This more to me is on Jerry, because you could have avoided this and got a young back. This offense could have been more explosive. You chose not to. Now you're being held to the fire with this. And I think
let me ask you this though, Big Game James. Is Deuce Vaughn and Rico young backs? Or are they?
Deuce Vaughn is not helping this team.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes. Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
I don't think
I can. I guess I gotta figure. I can hear you guys. I think I heard the brothers say that Ezekiel's not good for the team. Is that right?
No, he didn't say that. He didn't say
Well,
Zeke not for the team. He was saying that he feel like Zeke shouldn't have came back. He was saying that when players like Witten come back, he said when players come back like Witten came back, it's almost like it can stop the progress of other backs. That's what you were saying, right, Big?
Right. Yeah, and I said it becomes more of a distraction because we're talking about it now.
First of all,
before you say anything, Mr. Elliott, it's nothing against Ezekiel Elliott. His work ethic, how hard he plays, I know he's respected. It's nothing against that. This is, to me, Jerry Jones and them trying to bring back something that's gone. I liked him at New England. I wish he could have kept on growing. But this is a distraction now. You need more explosion.
See, this is the thing that we not First of all, this is the thing that we don't not that many of us are not privy on, is what goes on behind the scene. Okay?
Right.
Now, before I say this, let me make a statement on this. I am no fool. Father Time will get the best of us. However, like I said in that interview that y'all showed a clip that y'all didn't hear me say in that clip to Clarence was, I blame the media because the media is painting a theme like with the NFL, like it's the WWE. It's scripted.
Damn, that Wi-Fi. That's what it is.
Kamara was born July 25th. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we got you.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Alvin Kamara was born July 1995. Ezekiel Elliott was born July 22nd, 1995.
Yeah.
So Alvin Kamara is 3 days younger than Ezekiel. Derrick Henry is older than Ezekiel. And both of those running backs came to Dallas and ran through us like we wasn't on the field. Can we agree?
We agree.
Yes.
All right. Derrick Henry against us had 25 carries. Ezekiel Elliott had 3. I'm not sure how many carries Alvin Kamara had, but what do you expect a man to do with 3 carries or 8 carries? I mean, really, what do you expect a man to do?
Right.
And
I understand.
And let's pull the film out. When did these running backs get the carries? Under what circumstance? What plays were they? Man, all this is bullshit, for real. And I'm not saying this because my son is Ezekiel. I'm saying this because I watch football. Most fans don't know football. So what I said to Clarence was, y'all right. Ezekiel's old. Well, Alvin Kamara same age. Oh, Ezekiel's got all these. Well, Derrick Henry got 2. And he older. Okay. Oh, well, look what the media do after the game. Well, Jerry, why didn't you get Derrick Henry? Oh, well, we didn't have the money. Well, first of all, why would Derrick Henry want to come in and get 8 carries?
Derrick Henry is also
why would Derrick Henry want to come here and be a running back by committee? It does, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what you say is you ain't got the money for Derrick Henry. So then it's like, well, it implies Ezekiel Elliott ain't good. But none of those teams are going to tell you what they're doing behind the scenes as it relates to Ezekiel Elliott. I watch the media talk about no teams are interested in Ezekiel Elliott. It's a lie. God could take my life right now. When my son got released from Dallas Cowboys, God could kill me right now. The media, 95% of what they were reporting was bullshit. That's when I started saying something's weird about this. You know about when he was at New England. You know about the team that was trying to get Bill Belichick released last year. End of the year. So I'm just saying, man, I'm not drinking the coffee damn if it was John Doe. There's something else going on here. And I'm blaming the media.
Can I jump in on this?
Sure.
All right, so
one last thing I was going to say, and I'll let you talk, big bro.
Okay.
One last thing before you say. What I was going to say is Clarence Hill shows his number. I understand that, but y'all never report his attempts went down too. So it goes back to the same scenario. Derrick Henry got 25 attempts. Ezekiel got 3 in the same game. Case closed, man. Give him an opportunity and then say he washed up.
Big.
Okay. So to that, I say, once again, this is on Jerry because it seems like Mike McCarthy didn't want Ezekiel Elliott because if you look at the pattern since the start of week 1, Ezekiel Elliott started the game. Why? In my opinion, Jerry. Jerry wanted that crowd. 15 at Cleveland. He started Ezekiel Elliott. Yes, he got 10 carries for 40 yards. He did have a 9-yard run on the 3rd and 20. So, but after that, the carries diminished instantly. So, if Jerry was bringing back Ezekiel Elliott, I don't see where Mike McCarthy is wanting Ezekiel Elliott, because he is the one that's doing this offense, and I still see Rico getting more carries. Then when I hear Ezekiel say something in the media, now all of a sudden carries are changed. So when we talk about the call comes from upstairs, that's what I say. And it's nothing against your son. Trust me, he's in the crossfire, in my opinion, of the BS. And the reason why this BS goes on, that's why this is dysfunction, and that's why Dallas doesn't win.
Mr. Elliott, I hear a lot of people that believe that there was no market for Zeke. Do you have any thoughts on that? Where people believe that people didn't want Zeke. Do you have any insight on that?
That's not true. I got a lot of it on it, but I'm not going to get into that.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what, I can tell you this much. That's a lie, and God could take my life if that's the truth.
Gotcha. See, because
that's a lie.
I will say this too.
That's something he was talking about.
Wi-Fi. I hate you.
That Wi-Fi monster, boy.
I mean, can you answer my question though about Mike McCarthy? I want to ask him to answer that, because he's behind the scenes. It's his son. I want to know that. Does it look like Mike McCarthy wanted Ezekiel Elliott back? Because it doesn't look like it to me.
Listen, I'll just say this part. As Cowboy fans, which way you want it? You blame Mr. Jerry Jones, saying because his hands is too much in it. But different things we don't like about the decision about players, we blame Jerry Jones for not getting in it. See what I'm saying? So I'm going to get into who won Ezekiel or who don't. All I can say is this. If you say he's washed up, show me the tape. If you say his career over, show me the tape, and I'll pay you $10,000. That's it. One day he'll be washed up. One day he's slow. Listen, Zeke never looked fast. He is a smooth runner. He's never looked fast. He's always been a runner. Ezekiel's really an athlete. I mean, I don't see how's a washed up, and he's always going forward.
Right.
I mean, he's at New England. That's the worst. They say that's the worst offense in the NFL last year.
Yeah.
And he's the leading receiver on their offense. No one never says nothing about that. Did he have long runs last year? Sure did.
He did.
Some was called back.
Yep.
No one talks about that. I don't give a damn if somebody was holding or not. Let's focus on the running back.
Yeah. You talking about this play right here. You talking about this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at this boy.
Yeah.
He's slow. He washed up. Oh, look at him. I know. Yeah, man. Lost a step. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. 8th year in the NFL. Kiss my ass, bro.
Hey, cause Mr. I'm still waiting on somebody to show me. I'm waiting on somebody to show me washed up. I don't see it. I really don't.
No. Just give him an opportunity.
If you keep on saying you don't see washed up, what are we expecting then if you don't see washed up? You said give him an opportunity. What is the expectation if you're talking about opportunity? What would you like to see him in the offense carry wise?
I would want to see 15 carries out of Zeke a game. And I would want to see Zeke as RB1 to protect Rico injury history. And I would want us to lead with a physical style. That's what I would want us to do, because I really honestly believe that we are doing this justice in the run attempts, and we have our offensive line on their heels too much. I think we are way too pass happy. We are attempting to pass the ball 40 times a game, which is crazy, instead of giving balance and taking pressure off Dak with the run game and your offensive line. That's what I wholeheartedly believe.
This stuff is so funny, man. Listen, football ain't changed. 3rd and 2, you throw it for the bomb. 4th and 1, you throw it downfield. That's football? Come on, man.
And see, I'm seeing some of y'all say in the chat, like, this is where I'm different from y'all. Somebody say, I like Zeke. All right, whatever. I ain't got nothing to do with liking Zeke. So this is the deal. If somebody offered to pay me $10,000 damn to show me wash, I would do the work. I promise you, I would say, Mr. Elliott, I have the proof that he is washed. It is right here. And I would take him up on his offer. Yeah. So, like, instead of y'all criticizing, I want to see somebody actually take him up on a challenge. That's really what I want. I want somebody to take Mr. Elliott up on the challenge and do a whole film breakdown for $10,000.
That 10K, yeah, that 10K right there, bro.
That's 10,000.
10 bands right there. Yeah, I sent you part 2 of that clip too, boss, just in case you need rerun.
I get
out the top. I'm talking about from Stephen A. to Hill. Like, pull up the film, man. And when you see him tackle in the back, listen. And when you see him tackled in the backfield, you'll see men that wasn't blocked.
Mr. Elliott, can I ask a question real quick, Law? Just real quick, Law.
Go ahead. Do your thing.
Yes, sir.
I want you to address this comment right here, Mr. Elliott. Boss, he said, do you think it's the run blocking or the scheme?
You know what I think?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what I think. First of all, Ezekiel had this issue when he was being recruited out of high school. What you guys may not really realize, Ezekiel is an athlete. He could play wide receiver. He could play slot. He could play out. He's a killer in space. Okay? And so you've got to use him to the best of his ability. We've got used to him looking like a power back, but he's way more than that. His skill set, he's an athlete. This is why Mr. Jones knew what he was doing when he drafted him. Why was Ezekiel drafted so high? Because he drafted an athlete. He wasn't 5 yards in a smoke of dust. He could play out in space. The boy is an athlete. So he changed the running back market, being the 4th player taken overall in the first round after a long time. And Ezekiel had the highest draft grade in his draft class. Not to mention, he had the highest Waterlick IQ test to this very day ever taken before the draft. But let's go back to his athletic ability. He's an athlete. So yeah, he could juke you, but he could run you over. He can kill you in space, but if you don't run screens with him, you're never gonna see it. Come on, so I'm not questioning the coaching or nothing. I am just saying that Ezekiel's skill set, Mr. Jerry Jones was brilliant when he drafted Ezekiel like that, because he didn't draft a guy who get the ball and give you a few yards.
Yeah.
Now, we could talk about his yards per carry declining, but let's talk about the offense overall declining. Let's talk about the attempts to give him the ball declining. You can't have a dual threat quarterback and make him Tom Brady. Y'all didn't hear me.
See, Mr. Elliott, I don't want to hog it. Law, did you have some? Because I got questions after question.
Well, I know you got some, but man, shout out to OC, man.
OC in the building. What's up, OC,
Salute,
man?
Salute. How you doing,
man,
Stacy? Nice to meet you, sir.
Yes, indeed, man. I just want to say this though. We talking as if though Rico look elite. We talking as if though Deuce Vaughn look elite. We talking as if though my guy Hunter Lupi look elite. Why, if it is, and I'm not sitting here campaigning and cheerleading for Ezekiel Elliott to get out there to run the ball. All I'm saying is when we get into the red zone, use Zeke. That's what you got him for short yardage. Just use him in that particular light. But it's not like we just running all down the field. Like you said earlier, what Mr. Elliott said earlier is that this run scheme is horrid. And he's not going to say, but there were a few other teams that he mentioned that really wanted Ezekiel Elliott's services, but I'm quite sure you don't want to release that now because that could cause some type of stir in the Cowboys aura. But I'm just telling y'all, like none of these running backs are running. Even when Rico is out there, he's not running. That's all I'm saying.
They just not using none of the backs. I'm going to ask a question, then OC is on you, then it's back on you, Big, if that's okay. Mr. Elliott, I always said that I don't think they use Zeke's catching ability enough in Dallas, and nor have they. This is one of the most frustrating things when I watched him play Pitt last year. Oh, okay. Can you hear me? Mr. Elliott, can you hear me?
It's like you're talking underwater. Yeah.
Law, see if you can relay, because he might be having that issue with me.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead. What was you going to say, Mr. Elliott?
Now you good.
Okay. This is what I was saying. I was saying I don't think the Dallas Cowboys use Zeke enough with his hands. And that was the frustrating thing that the OC brought out when he was doing a film breakdown on Zeke versus Pittsburgh and why he was at New England, is that they did a real good job versus Pittsburgh last year of Zeke's catching. Can you talk about that? I don't think he can hear me. God dog.
They say just put him on the phone like a cell phone.
Let's put him on the phone. Tell him I'm going to call him.
Yeah, we're going to call you. We're going to call you.
That call me.
Yeah, we gonna just get him. Tell him I'm gonna call him right now.
Yeah,
we go leave his audio, but we go get his. I mean, we go lose his video. We go get his audio.
Yeah, that'll work even better. Yeah.
It's all good. Hey, y'all, listen, man. We go get this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to relay y'all questions though. Okay, it's gonna be a little bit.
It's my Wi-Fi. I could.
Yeah, tell him to try his Wi-Fi for real.
Oh, he gonna connect to the main Wi-Fi.
Let's go. OC, man. It's good to see OC. OC ain't got no neck. What's going you been in the gym or something? OC, you been working out, my boy ain't got no neck or something. Man, we gotta get this audio, man. For real.
Yeah. Working hard, man. Hey man, shout out to y'all, you guys, Law Nation, Big Game James, obviously. Boss Cowboy, man, holding it down, man, doing a fantastic job. Baby boy had birthday today, man, my youngest son, so this is why I'm late.
Oh man.
It's big birthday too, man.
Big birthday to everybody. Jerry Jones, everybody born around this time, man. Come on.
Hold on, man. All right, we go. Y'all know what it is, man. We got people birthday, man. We go give them this birthday, man. Let's go. We got big birthday today. We got the OC son birthday today, man. So we gonna give a little time while we waiting on Mr. Elliott. We gonna give him a little bit of birthday until they start. You know what I mean? Here we go. Y'all know.
Happy birthday. It's your birthday.
Happy birthday, Big. Happy birthday, my brother.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
It's your birthday.
Happy birthday, Josh. If you watch this video, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And if it's your birthday, happy birthday.
One time for the birthday chick.
And that's where we turn it off right there.
Yeah.
That's where we turn it off.
Birthday chick. But hey, Big Hey James, post your cash app.
Yeah, post your cash app, man.
Put your cash app in the chat, man. So, put it on the screen. That's a good song, though, man. I didn't take that one.
Yeah, man. With his people's birthday, man, we play that, man. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So anyway, we still waiting on Mr. Elliott to get back. OC, we didn't hear from you about the Detroit game while we waiting on Mr. Elliott. Obviously, we want to hear from you, man.
Yeah, man. So the game versus the Lions, man. Look, it's one of those situations to where, and I have to really think and go back to a lot of things that we talked about this offseason. And this is not a I told you so, but it's a reference point to think about how you can proactively deal with solutions and address problems before they happen. And to be honest, we just don't have the depth and we don't have the personnel at this point to beat a top team in the league. And so every time we get into one of these games, we're facing a team that can run the ball, that has talented ball carriers, that has above average quarterback with some good receivers. We tend to struggle. And what's happening with our offensive line is it's a situation to where we're all in on developing young guys at this point, which is fine. But you're going to sacrifice some wins. You're going to sacrifice all that stuff, man, as you develop this young offensive line. We lack weaponry on our offense. We have CeeDee Lamb. People roll covers to him. People double, triple team him. We don't really have another viable wide receiver to really take pressure off of CeeDee Lamb. And that's problematic when you face a good team. Also, we have the underutilization of Ezekiel Elliott. And I don't just think that Ezekiel Elliott should be used in the red zone. Let me go on record and say that. I think that you can get 1st and 10, you can get short and medium, second and medium, and Ezekiel Elliott can be very effective. Mike McCarthy has not done a good job. No offense to him, but this is just analysts, okay, right now. No shade on Mike. It's not personal, but Mike has not done a good job at adjusting to the lack of personnel. And when you have a lack of personnel, you're going to have to be creative. You're also going to have to force your will on teams at certain points with overload formations, with shifts, with motions, with flares, with screens. It's so much that you can do that, Mike really hadn't done a whole lot to this point to try to maximize the personnel. And then the other thing you have to do, when you're not having a high degree of productivity in the run game, no offense, but we just don't, and you don't have a lot of secondary weapons, you need to give some of these guys that show flashes of ability the chance to actually make plays for you now. So.
Hello?
I'm gonna see something. Can y'all hear?
Yeah, I can hear. I could hear fine.
Say something right quick. Say something. Can y'all hear that beat?
I can hear the beat. I see what you're doing, Law. Work it out.
So we'll be able to Skype him in. I call. Let me call him right quick. We'll do it that way.
You love it. You the man, Law.
You've been doing it this way. I didn't know we can do it this way.
Hey, Law, you the man. You the man.
Yeah, I know I can MacGyver that thing in there, man.
Say y'all better listen.
MacGyver. Law, you hate yourself, man. You know it's people on this show that don't know what MacGyver is. You gonna have to explain what MacGyver is.
Nah, man. Old heads know.
Old heads know, man. Cause y'all can hear that. He ain't picking up his phone now. He need to pick up his phone.
He out there fixing that Wi-Fi.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
He gonna come back. He
come back. Yeah,
but now, since you brought up Ezekiel Elliott, I want to go ahead and, you know me, man, I'm an instigator.
Yeah.
Because that's the subject right now. But eventually, we got to get on this Jerry thing, bro. Because
of course.
We got to get on that. I almost want to get on that right now. But what's your breakdown? And I want to hear what Big got to say about it too. What's your breakdown of what's happening with the usage of Ezekiel Elliott or the lack thereof, OC?
I think that there's a lack of trust with Ezekiel Elliott for whatever reason. They believe that Rico is the guy that can do a better job. It's also influences, in my opinion, by the front office on exactly how and when they want to use Ezekiel Elliott. Because other than that, unless it's meddling in these things, it doesn't make sense to me that you don't use this guy at least on first down or at least on 3rd and short and 2nd and medium. It makes no positively sense at all. Like you just got him on the shelf for no reason. And right now, you're not an elite team. You're an average team. You're an average to almost below average team, I might say, based upon what happens in the next couple of games. So there's no reason not to give Ezekiel Elliott at least 10 to 15 totes a game. At this point, you might as well.
You agree with that, Big, in terms of the volume? 15 carries?
I mean, I just really don't feel like he's going to make the difference, even if you give him the 15 carry volume. I just feel like we need explosion. Yes, we got power, but we need explosion as well. And if you get stopped, we don't have an offensive line right now that's great at run blocking. So because he's not an explosive back and he's more of a power back, and your offensive line is not blocking, and your offensive sets are jumbled and your guys are not doing their job, it makes it a no point when you run him the ball, because he doesn't have that what he had earlier career.
James.
All right.
My brother, I disagree with you, and I'll give you $10,000. Produce the tape, and I'm willing to bet you, brother, that if you look at his tape from when he came in the league, and you look at him now, he gonna damn near look like the same dude. The blocking ain't there, or the plays are not there for him to be like that. He's never looked like some dude that was explosive. He's always been a smooth looking. He actually don't even look that fast. I never thought he looked that fast, in my opinion. You only say he looked fast because he ran away from people. So last year he ran away from people, but he's still slow. I mean, how much more explosion can you get? That's the same dude. Look like 2016 to me. Now, don't get me wrong, Big James. Father Time didn't get the best of us. So I'm not saying that he hasn't lost something, but his something ain't equal to the ones he got to sit the bench to.
Yeah, you got that right, Stacy. And that's the whole issue here. He's not an inferior back to Rico. He's not an inferior back to anybody on the roster. He's at least a Cowboys all-time great already. So you brought him back into the building, and you're not even using him for the purposes that we assume you was bringing him back into the building, which is to score in short yardage, to be very, very effective in the red zone. And then now you have a situation to where, just to be honest, we're not very effective in the run game. So to me, we understand the situation with the offensive line. Jerry Jones, not to get into this, but he even alluded to that at the first part of his interview, that they will get better. They got to get better. You made that decision up front, what you go do with those young offensive linemen, right? The issue, too, is this. Your veteran offensive linemen, I would say outside of Tyler Smith, they're not at their best. And I hate to say that. They're not at their best. This hadn't been their best year outside of Tyler Smith, which is the best offensive lineman we have on this team. So at this point, I think that it makes sense. And I'm going to even go back to what Boss Cowboy said. And this is going to shock Boss Cowboy probably. I'm going to go back to this. If you can't generate points and you can't score when you need to score, you may need to try to do time of possession and run the ball more and just make sure you convert in the red zone. Because what we're seeing versus good teams is that when these guys have 10 to 12 possessions, they are lighting us up. And it's very evident on this game that we don't have the personnel to put pressure on the passer. We don't have the discipline. We don't have the interior lineman. God bless Mozzie, doing the best he can. But we don't have the depth. We don't have the personnel to match up and to beat, keyword, beat the top teams right now. We just don't.
I think we...
Bro, hey, OC, you on to something. You're on to something. Check this out, brother. Let's go back to 2016, 2017, 2018. We ran the ball more. It is football 101. The longer you keep their defense on the field, the less their offense is on the field.
Right.
But if you're just throwing the ball, you're not eating up the clock. This was the brilliant thing that Jerry Jones did by bringing Ezekiel to the Dallas Cowboys. Ezekiel made the defense look good. They ate the clock up.
Look,
and that was a bad D. That's what people forget. People forget in 2016 we was 31 in pass rush. It's the exact same situation we are in right now. Because people think because we lost Mike and we lost Tank, it should be over. But what they did different is they got behind the run game. And Zeke wasn't even rolling the first 4 games. They was using Alfred Morris. People forgot that. He didn't get going into game 4, Chicago. That's when he really got going. So, because a lot of people trying to say Zeke lost a step, it's a difference now. No, they was behind the run game even before Zeke got going. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's about getting behind the run game. Go ahead,
Let
Law.
me just say this, though. I think that was the old regime. I think that what happened was they tried to get back to 2014. That was Jason Garrett's philosophy there, is to take the time off of the opposing team, the TOP, by running the ball. We look back at 2014. We're going way back, y'all. That even Tony Romo, he only threw for 300 yards one time that entire season. They ran the ball. Now, the problem is now we got Mike McCarthy, who's a pass enthusiast, right? So he loves to throw the ball around. And there's no absolute strategy for the running game or the running approach. And we're seeing that this offensive line is paper thin as it relates to the thing that's going on with Zach Martin. His back is all out of the wax. And Terrence Steele is not having the kind of caliber of year that we thought that he should. So the offensive line is in shambles. Mike McCarthy don't have a plan or a perfect plan of reasoning on how to run the ball. And we are at this conversation now going back and forth over Zeke, Rico, and Deuce Vaughn if possible, and Hunter, meaning that they don't have a certain plan, scheme, or action to even solidify anything. So that's the problem. And the 49ers, they can't wait to play us to expose us even more. We're going to have to figure this out.
I got to ask a question. I'm going to start with Stacy on this real quick, Stacy.
Can I just say something real quick, though, and then ask me that question? Big James, you did hit on something, though, and I'm going to say this. If you don't bring Ezekiel back, there's not as big as a distraction about the run game. Let me say that again. I want you to think what I'm saying. Ezekiel coming back to the Dallas Cowboys, whether he lost a few steps or whatever, the conversation is going to be about the run game because he's one of the all-time guys and running back, whether he never played another down. So the other guys are not made men in the run game. So maybe there's not much talk as much as it is now if Ezekiel Elliott's not on the roster. Because with Ezekiel Elliott on the roster, you're expecting a lot more running with him.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. You got some on that big because he addressed you.
Like I said, we're talking about more volume carries. I really just feel like it's not going to make the difference. Even the running game is not good. Mike McCarthy is, I don't know, the run fits. I don't know what's going on with that line coach. It's just not good.
Yeah.
And as I said before, you still need more explosion at the end of the day. I know Ezekiel Elliott is a guy who's smooth. Yes, but you need more explosion. You need a guy who can take the top off the defense right now. Dallas doesn't have that. And therefore, since they don't have that, teams don't really fear the run game. And even when they do stay with it, they stay with it in Pittsburgh. They still only average 3.8 yards a carry on 31 carries. So
they had a high average on the second half. Big.
Well,
the first half is what killed their average.
Big game, though. One thing that, and I'm listening to you talk because I'm an open-minded man. I will say this. If we use more explosion, you're damn right. If Ezekiel was 21 years old, we could use more explosion out of other players on our squad. But I would say that we don't need more volume. We need more quality volume. There's a difference. When our run game was doing good, the run value was more strategic. And then, so that's what I think. That's my opinion.
So, which bring me to the question I was finna throw at you.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
This brings me to the question I was getting ready. Did you have something else? I didn't want to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
So this brings me to the question I want to ask you. Because a lot of people are now saying that the offensive line is not as good, right? The question is it the chicken or the egg? Is it because we getting off to these starts to where we are having them on their heels and not letting them do what they was built to do? In my opinion, because I feel like this offensive line is built to run the ball if you get them doing it early. Like, I just refuse to believe at this point, Mr. Elliott, that the same dominance that we were seeing from Terrence Steele and Zach Martin is just gone now. I refuse to believe that a center that you drafted with the nickname Dirt just can't do it now. I refuse to believe that Tyler Smith, who has back-breaking strength according to the OC, is just soft now. I just don't believe it. Now, if I have a question, it would be Tyler Guyton, because that never was his strength. But 4 guys that I named, their pedigrees to me are to run the ball. Are we not running enough early to kind of get their confidence up? I'm going to start with you, Mr. Elliott.
When I look at the NFL and I see teams that's going away from football 101, what's football 101? The run sets up the throw. The run sets up the throw. When I see teams that have went away from that because the NFL is trending away from that, I also see quarterbacks whose skill set is drop back in the pocket and pick people off. I'll leave it at that.
Gotcha. Did y'all have anything?
Yeah,
go ahead. Let those see go. Go ahead.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, the fundamentals of the game is running, blocking, and tackling. You have to be able to run, and you also have to be able to stop the run on the other side of the ball. So I think that it's not just so much line up and run the ball. It's run the ball in the appropriate situation. And this leads me back to the Mike McCarthy conversation and just some friendly advice that I will give. Well, the number one thing is that y'all need to listen to Boss Cowboy Sports, man. Listen to Law Nation and Big Game James, because we're all telling you guys this. You need to draft a younger guy that has fresh legs that can be explosive. We said this 2 years ago when you wanted to get rid of Ezekiel Elliott. So you need quality depth there, number one. But since we don't have that at this point, this is what you need to do. You need to do overload formations, do heavy, force the issue, because that's going to actually give your young offensive line some confidence. You also need, for Ezekiel Elliott, in my opinion, he runs power lead very, very well. He runs inside and mid zone extremely well because of his one-cut ability and his power once he's going downhill toward linebackers. He excels at that. Run the kind of stuff that will help Ezekiel Elliott in terms of getting him in a rhythm. And then situationally, since you like to pass the ball, you can make the run, the pass, a part of the run game. Use wide routes, use flare passes, use wheels, use jet motion in throws, use short, quick throws, because that will still move the chains, and it takes the pressure off of your young offensive line to have to hold up when you're playing against a good team. If you're playing against a bad team, hey, you want to open it up and go just pure Texas coast, West Coast, go ahead. But when you're facing a good team like Detroit or like Baltimore, any of these teams that actually can stop you, you got to mix it up, and you got to have a strategic game plan based upon the team you're playing. And that's the issue that's even bigger than the run game. But you guys go ahead.
No doubt. I just say that the Cowboys' first 17 plays are scripted, and we don't see creativity with the run, whether it's Zeke or Rico or Deuce or Hunter. I think that we're going to have to get back to the drawing boards and figure out ways to get this running game going. We are aware that Zach Martin back is all bent out, and he needs to get some type of recovery from there. I don't know if this is just the father time just creeping up at Zach Martin, but the writing is on the wall. So we're not going to go far with this team unless we figure out ways to run properly. That's all I'm gonna say on this.
So, Mr. Elliott, we have a tradition here where we give our final words. Because I know we go dig into that Jerry thing pretty heavy, and it's gonna get bloody. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think we want you into that. So we want to give you your final words on anything you want to say. We're going to Cowboys, your son, whatever.
You know, I just want to say first and foremost, thank you for you guys for allowing me to be on the show, and that you know, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Ezekiel Elliott, but I'm not a blind fan, and I understand that Father Time will get the best of all of us. I was once one of the top outside linebackers in the country in college, but I can't do nothing anymore, even though in my mind I think I could. But I would also say, you know, as a father, we always want the best for our children. I'm sure some of you guys, if not all of you, are fathers. And I'll close on this point. When Ezekiel was being recruited by Coach Urban Meyer, a lot of people were saying that Ezekiel would not get a chance to be on the field because he wasn't from Ohio. And so I had a very candid conversation with Coach Urban Meyer, and I said to him, I said, sir, all I want is for my son to get a chance to compete. And it's like when you build a building, I told him, you put a board in the corner and to hold up between the foundation and the wall. And if that board bends, then that board wasn't, or he's not the man for the job. All I'm saying is that I trust the process. I thank Almighty God for Mr. Jerry Jones drafting my son. I think my son has had an amazing career. He's a blessed young man. And football is just a short portion of his life. But I'm going to continue to trust the process. This is not the first time things on the outside looking in or the inside looking out look very weird to me. But I'm going to trust the process. I'm going to be grateful that my son is in his 9th year at the NFL, playing for one of the greatest franchises that ever exists in the annals of history in America. So it's a blessing. And so thank you, and God bless.
Good final word. Thank you, sir. Law, did you have anything since you invited him? Did you have any?
No. I just wanted to say, man, thank you for jumping on the show and expressing your thoughts on your son and his career here in Dallas. I know that the people collectively is in the middle right now.
Yeah.
When the Cowboys lose, the world stops spinning. It feels like that. And we just don't have a clear, obvious plan with the run game, whether it's Zeke or not, right? So the Cowboys got to figure out that. And I truly believe what we seen week 1, when he got down into the red zone, money zone, green zone, that Zeke still exists. You can't tell me otherwise. So if the Cowboys get out for whatever political agenda that they have, get back to that particular philosophy. If you want to use Rico earlier, you do that. But when it get down inside the 10, when it's short yardages, you paying this man with they got 15. And I say it all the time. His shoulders are to that neck and that head. He just lean forward and he can give you that first down. And that's what he is. He's the power back. And that's all I'm looking for is the Cowboys to utilize your son correctly. That's all we're going to say with that.
Thank you, Mr. Elliott. Thank you so much, Mr. Elliott.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Elliott.
Thank you, guys. Big game, James. The OC. You sound pretty good, OC.
Hey, the OC. We're gonna have Andre Gerard on Thursday night, man. You might want to come swing by.
Yeah, he's serious about that too.
Yeah. Ain't that right?
I know Andre Gerard, by the way.
You know him already.
Yeah, I already know Andre Gerard.
Okay, Mr. Elliott.
Thank you.
Just do me a favor. Take it easy on Mr. Jones, okay?
No, that's why I want you here. Because we not. That's why I say get out. All right, Stacy. All right, so
Yeah.
because I really did, man. Because I didn't want him in there, because I know we go say what we gotta say.
Yeah.
All right, man. Where my boy Big? Because I wanted to give a special shout out to Big, man, just for that whole section, because it's not easy to look somebody in the eye and tell you honestly how you feel, And Big did not switch up. I knew he wasn't gonna switch up.
Nah, Big ain't never switch
I
up.
knew he wasn't gonna switch up, but that's the secret to me. That's not even a secret. I just respect everybody willing to speak their mind on this channel. You know what I mean? So it's just what it is. Whether you believe in Zeke or not believe in Zeke, whatever opinion, I just love how at least over here for sure we gonna say it and we don't care who it is. So anyway, let's get into this just real quick, and I ain't gonna spend all day on this, but this is like, let's get back into this if y'all don't mind. This is crazy ass.
And I'm sure not throwing the towel in today because of what happened out there Sunday. But I'm not going to sit here and waste a lot of energy, a lot of time. Let's talk about what I should have done back in 1907 or 2017. Shit, Ben. Come on. I've got more time than that, and I actually don't even have time on this great show for looking back at decisions.
Okay. So, Jerry, 1970, a little different from this past off season in building the team we're talking about today, which there was a lot of criticism that you guys didn't add, didn't spend, and don't add, and don't spend, and are not aggressive enough with some of the problems that are still haunting the Cowboys today that we see play out on the field. That's the point of talking about the offseason.
Oh, I remember those criticisms very well. Okay, so what?
So what?
Or are they playing out to be accurate?
What's your point? What's your point?
Damn. My point is, it seems like my point.
Listen, let me tell you what I'll do. Let me tell you what I'll do about it. I will let us sit down and look at the decisions we've made over the last several years. Okay? I'll look at it. Now, if you think I'm interested on a damn phone call with you over a radio and sitting here and throwing all the good out with the dishwater, you have got to be smoking something over there this morning.
Throw all the good out with the dishwater. Before we go a little bit further on this, I pinned Big Game James Cash App in the top of my page there. So y'all send a few dollars, man, for his birthday, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, and if somebody put a comment in there, if you don't mind, Big Game's Cash App real quick.
Yeah,
for his birthday. So
that
I could also pin it up too.
It's $BGJDC for life or DC4L, You want me to copy and paste it and put it in there?
If you could put it in the, I'll go ahead and make sure I show it. That way we show Big some love on his birthday. Also, make sure that y'all put, if y'all Cash App him, happy birthday, bro.
Yeah, happy birthday to the bro. You know,
for real.
But Jerry off his mind, man. He's off his meds or something, man. Like, come on, man.
Let's keep going. Then we go get into it.
Keep going. Yeah.
I'm not, and I really don't, and I don't even want our listeners to listen to me. To talk about, this is not your job. Your job isn't to let me go over all the reasons that I did something, and I'm sorry.
This is not your job. We got to come back to that.
That I did it. That's not your job.
Well, my job is to ask why.
A job, or I'll get somebody else to ask these questions, man.
People still defending them. That's the craziest thing on that, Yeah.
I get somebody else to ask these questions.
Jerry, we're trying to figure.
Let's see what happened after that laugh.
Figure out why the team is.
I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you.
I ain't playing with you. Y'all laughing, all right? Ooh.
You're not going to figure out what the team is doing right or wrong. If you are, or any 5 or 10 like you need to come to this meeting I'm going to today. There are 32 teams here. You're geniuses.
That boy crazy, man.
Okay, so we got to talk about it. OC or Law? Which way y'all want to go first? God damn.
Oh, let the OC go. I don't know already.
Go, please. Damn. Oh.
Well, this is called frustration and anger as a powerful man. That's what this is called. Frustration and anger by a powerful man. And listen, Jerry is flexing his muscles because you're infringing on what he wants to talk about, which would implicate his son. He's really defending his son, okay? And the decisions to go cheap, to look at free agency, to wait, and to also trust our draft guys and go with the Will McClay / given to him Stephen Jones philosophy of if we draft him, we got to play him. And it's being very, very frugal and over conservative in an increasingly competitive league. Every team in the league that is competitive and that is a top 5 team makes offensive acquisitions, makes defensive acquisitions via trade or signing veteran free agents that still have quality years left in their career. I'm telling you, the Cowboys don't. And so Jerry's angry because somebody's holding him accountable. And so being wealthy and powerful does not mean that you cannot escape all accountability, right? As did it, right? So doesn't mean that, right? And these guys are hired to do a job and to ask questions and to get answers for the people as a representation of the Cowboys. And for you to go off, belittle them, threaten their jobs is just classless and tacky, Jerry. That's what it is. It's classless and it's tacky on your side. And if you can't compose yourself and deal with a tough question after an embarrassing loss, the one of which you recognize at the beginning of that interview to be the worst loss the Cowboys took at home since you owned the team, and you can't answer a tough question, then perhaps you should get somebody else to do this interview that can actually compose themselves and just answer the question. So I'm not in agreement with the bully tactics. Yeah, we know you own it, but don't bully these guys. They're doing their job. So that's my initial thought. I'll start right there.
Law, I already got it. You gonna bring your face up. I already got it, Law. Law, you know I'm ready, dog. I already got it, Law. We gonna come back to that. Bring your face back. We need Law face back up in here. We bring your face back up in here.
You know, my hooked on funny guys. I was trying to blow it up. So
you see how Law was ready? That's what Law was ready.
Oh my gosh. And then Jerry, he didn't take a nap since then.
He doubled down.
He doubled down and went again. He went again. He says, I don't know that I would go as far as calling the volume connotation as yelling, okay? But the facts are that if I'm going to be grilled by a trivial, or I don't need to be by the guys I'm paying.
That's the part.
I can't take it from the fans and take it from other people. It takes a lot of pride in how fair and how much I try to work with the media. I don't have to read no more, but I can tell you. So those boys who say that they weren't getting paid to say certain things, the water carrier, Jerry Jones is letting it all out, ladies and gentlemen, because he's saying that he paying those boys. So if I'm paying you, you're going to have to throw me soft punches. You don't supposed to punch me that hard now. Come on, man. Jerry Jones need to get his act together.
You said, he said in your statement, Law, up there in the X message, he said the wrong ones was the ones asking the question. What do you do with that? That's what he said. He said the wrong ones was the ones asking the questions.
Well, ooh.
Man,
were they wrong? That's my question.
No, they was not wrong.
Asking the questions?
No.
Man. They supposed to put them old feet to the fire.
And Law, you know the worst part? Didn't want no hard questions.
They were straightforward.
They was professional kind of softball questions. It was like the first time I could see what Jerry slapped him when he say, "Are you embarrassed?" That's where the "get your act together" came from. You got that, bud?
Yeah. Well, I took that long part out, but I'm gonna tell you, man.
Damn act together.
There it is. Yeah, because he asked him, "Are you embarrassed? Okay, so that's a fly question. They didn't ask nothing off the cuff. It was simple football questions. It was, hey, you guys said in the offseason y'all want to strengthen your run game and you want to strengthen your ability to stop the run. How do you evaluate where you are now? Soft. That was
soft.
It was a football professional. They didn't. So this is the thing I'm gonna say about it. I want to. That stood out to me when you say the guys I'm paying, right?
Yeah, that ooh.
And then he say, it's not your job. It shows me. Shout out to Skywalker because he sent me this.
Our subjects.
So remember he did that. Shout out to Skywalker. He sent me that clip because I asked him for it. I asked him for that clip. I said, bro, you got to say I saw it on this show one time. He sent me the clip. But bro, it's one thing to suspect that he's really trying to control the narrative. It's one thing for him to outright say it.
Right.
That's what make this whole thing, because now you can't unknow what you know. Jerry basically told the world, if I'm paying you as a media person, I expect you to conduct yourself a certain kind of way and to ask me soft questions. That's exactly what it is.
So anything that they say beyond this point is only hogwash, because at this time we know that he's paying them. So this should be a situation and scenario where we'll be like, that's flatter. That couldn't be real, because we know that you are getting fed the payment, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that, you know, with all of this, Jerry Jones out here going on the radio station, knowing that this team is depleted. We so depleted that we should have been on the phone. We should have been calling other teams for their players, especially if they are already mathematically kind of like
out of
shot into the playoffs. So by the Cowboys being 3-3 right in the thick of it, all it takes is one or two players.
Right.
And by now, you see he's pissed off and he's taking his anger out and he's trying to prove a point. Well, I ain't going after nobody now.
Yep.
Exactly.
Let me play what you saying, Law, so everybody can catch up. Listen to this.
Jerry, you know, there's been a lot of talk about execution. I think you've mentioned it here already. If the execution has become a problem to the extent that you get losses like the ones against New Orleans and Detroit, why are those players still the right ones for your team?
Well, first of all, where are you going to go to get any players? Seriously, where are you going to go to get any players for the next week against San Francisco? Now, number one, I've seen these players.
Hold on. Let me stop right there. See, that's the part that's insulting that Law is talking about. That's treating sports journalists like they're stupid.
Exactly.
And it's treating the fans like he's stupid. So on the day Adams was traded, on the day Amari Cooper was traded, you saying the grocery store was closed and there was no bread and peanut butter.
Yeah.
But we watching teams walk out with bread and peanut butter to go, you know what I'm saying? But you said steak.
Peanut butter.
Talk, OC, go ahead.
Ribeyes. So you got Devontae Adams hanging around out there for weeks. He's out there for weeks. Do you want to pay him? Nope. You could have made your wrongs right and maybe repented of your sins on how dirty you did Amari Cooper and try to bring him back in for, as the Law Nation would say, a cup of coffee. Hey, but guess what? You didn't. Right? There are other free agents out there. There's other people to be had. So don't sit there and patronize people and act like they have no logical sense, or we just don't even read the internet to see available free agents that are out there, because it's it's some good players out there that can make this team better. Yes, Jerry, next week if they came to your roster, actually you'd be better next week. You'd actually be better by next week. So this is just not true. Go ahead, guys.
But you know, ego, write this down, is edging God out. And that's what ego stands for. And Jerry Jones, even though if it's not his idea originally,
right,
he will not go after it. The builders said, hey, when they built Texas Stadium or Arlington Stadium, they said it looks beautiful this way. The problem is the sun will cascade into the player faces because it's built towards the sun. If we move it this way, you probably won't see it off the highway as much. But Jerry, like, hell no, I want it built the long way so that when you're driving through Arlington, you can see it, and you can see it all the way from Frisco, by the way, because the stadium is such a massive one, right? But that's ego. And when people were saying, well, hey, how about you put some curtains up there and it will block out the sun? But since it wasn't his original ideal, no. And it's the same thing. By you played that little clip just a few seconds ago, boss.
Yeah.
By he's saying there's nothing out there. And now people can present that there's something out there. He's going to stand on business. So that's why it was released today from my guy, Pat No.C. Walker, that they are in no dealings with any trades or extra free agency because he want to stand on business of saying that he can win with the guys that he got right now.
Just the curtains. Well said.
Yeah. Yeah.
These are the curtains on a high level. Now, Tolbert lost the ball in the same sun again.
Yeah. And the sun never benefited us in any game that I see. It never. It's like when Cedric Wilson, I get a chance to talk to Cedric Wilson, people, the trainer and everything. He was like, man, shoot, the sun. Yeah. I couldn't see the ball. I can't use that as an excuse, but I couldn't see the ball. And they're going all the way back to 2021. If he were to college, who knows? Football is a game of inches. It's not like the 49ers blew us out, even though we had 14 penalties in that game. That one catch could be the changing factor. Just like those little soft blows that Jerry Jones got really upset about, all it takes is one punch. A grain of rice can tilt the scale and balance of life. One grain of rice, one tip of a feather. So Jerry Jones just in the way. Him and his son. It's just terrible, man. And I still love the Cowboys. And for those who think that we are folding up and getting out of here, hey, Boss Cowboy,
no.
The OC, turn to Hebrews 12:6. Let me know what you find, right? Because that's just what it is. We love this team. Let me know when you come up with the homework, though, the OC.
Oh, I thought you really want me to look it up? All right,
yeah, look up Hebrews 12:6.
You ain't said nothing.
Because at the end of the day, it's still love. And that's why we do these type of things here. That's why we say these type of things here. You know, come on. Come on with it.
That's the real scripture right there.
Yeah. So if he chastises or he chastens the ones that he loves, then what you think we gonna do? We chastise this team because we love this team. If we didn't give a dog, we wouldn't even be right here at 9:50 at night talking about this team. So we know what we're talking about, Jerry. So you look, when you see a car driving down the street too fast and you know kids playing in the street, you don't need driver license to say, hey, slow down. Them journalists that's asking them the questions, they don't have to be football players. They don't have to be on the field. They don't have to be scouting report. They telling you, Jerry, that, hey, if you were to take care of business early, we would have had enough money in free agency and you don't have to scramble and scrape right now. You would have been able to have all of these things available.
So I said this on Twitter, man. When he said what he said in terms of I can get somebody else and all that kind of stuff, I had a couple of thoughts about it. I want to run it by y'all. First of all, my first thought, y'all tell me if I'm overreacting. How does that not put pressure on a fan to cancel their relationship with him? And the reason why I say that is because people are going to now think that you're compromised because of the way he talked to you and the way he put out that I expect a certain type of interview from payment. So the fan is not just the Cowboys. They're the Rangers. They're the Stars. They're the Mavericks. They do a lot of good work, a lot of fun programming. You know what I mean? They not the typical radio station. They figured out how to make it kind of fun a little bit too. You know what I mean? Yeah. Good catchy slogans that they had to come up with, Tolos and stuff like that. That's a real business that you basically went into their business and said, I make you.
Yeah.
So, like, for their credibility, why would they even want to continue that relationship if he had the audacity to come on your network and basically say, I own you?
Well, this is simple, boss. He's the biggest show in town. He's too big. He's too powerful. He pays them enough money. He has too much money. There's no way that they can sever the relationship with the Cowboys, because that is a huge part of the fan base that turns in to listen to the Cowboys and for these exclusive Jerry Jones interviews. So it's bad business. It's bad etiquette. And it's wrong how Jerry spoke to them, 100%. But it's bad for business not to be in business with the Cowboys. Look at the 3 and 4 letter networks and how much ratings and how much viewership they get just by discussing the Cowboys, even if it's from a place of hatred. So that doesn't make sense, and that would never happen.
Gotcha.
Right.
Law, I got a question for you too. Then a question that I have is, if you anybody that's getting paid by Jerry, how does that not make you a sycophant, a kiss butt, a survivalist? Because you can see how he conducts himself when he's angry, right? Like, how can you watch him conduct himself that way? But if you were the person that has to bring him bad news that's necessary for him to hear, why would you do it?
People do it all the time. I mean, you look at the Puff Daddy, the P. Diddy thing. You know, them people knew what was going on. They wasn't oblivious to it, but they went along. You're going to always have the go along, get along crew. You're going to always have the people that would do anything for a little change. And 1310 The Ticket used to be the flagship station. But, you know, their host there, they didn't fold. You know, Norm Hiskins, he'll go back and forth with Jerry. The other guy, I forgot his name, he was going really cram with Jerry. So it's always those who are willing to fold and those who are willing to fight, and those who are going to say, hey, man, you know, I wish factor. I wish he would say this about me, because I'm going to let him know. And there are some that say, I hope not. I hope he don't talk about this. I hope he don't bring my name up. And that's just the factors. And Jerry Jones, he said this on 105.3 The Fan. Don't piss off a man with a lot of money. That's true. And we know it. There's a lot of truth in that. So Jerry's Jerry. And he's going to do this. He's 82 years of age. He just turned 82. God bless his heart. But he have more years behind him than in front of him. And that's just what we got to deal with, you know, unfortunately.
It was a message in that, man. It was a message to everybody. It was a message that said, if I don't like what you said and I feel like it, I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
Well,
that was a message.
It is what it is, boss. You know, a lot of times the thing that helped him build the empire could also be a thing that is not as desirable as attribute, right? The drive, the determination, the determined to be the man, to be the boss, to be in control. And then, you know, his whole life he built this empire and he achieved that, right? Well, how do you achieve that? In a lot of different ways. And how do you get the narrative and the marketing edges and the exposure the Cowboys have gotten? And honestly, it's because you're getting your work done through a lot of people. And you're getting that work done in a variety of ways that is going to be towards your benefit. That's just the reality of the situation here. So if you are underneath that organization and you are receiving payment from that organization, then it is implicitly understood that you are abiding by the culture and abiding by the standards and the dictates of the Jones family. If not, you can't take their money. And that's how it is, man.
Yeah.
And it further explains the Amari Cooper leaks, you know, the negotiation strategy of, hey, bring this attorney on and let's speak about the Dak Prescott situation, right? So the water carriers are now being exposed, and now we can see with our natural eyes. The stuff that we've been saying in new media is a real tangible one now.
Yeah,
that's just how it is now.
You can't unsee what you see now.
Right.
And it's the saddest part. The saddest part is they was pushing back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They was pushing back. And then, but they're going to be damaged now because of Jerry. It's people that's going to now never trust them and look at them as puppets because of what Jerry did, you know?
Yeah.
And I listen to them, man, being fair, right? I know they go at Jerry and them. I listen.
Yeah.
You know what I
they
mean? They go hard at Jerry and them. Like, they say stuff like insecure and, you know, like, I hope this team actually burns down because that Jerry needs to, you know, get serious. You like say, damn. You like, y'all know y'all got to interview him tomorrow, right? Like, you know what I mean? So it makes me, it shows me that. Go ahead. Go ahead. You go say, Jose?
No, go ahead. No, you go ahead, boss.
Well, it just shows me that how it also showed me how Jerry views people that he paying.
Right. Did you get that clip when he said, if I wanted to, if I feel some type of way, I don't have to speak to y'all. You know?
I got that clip.
Yeah, that part. You know.
Yeah.
So,
I don't got to talk to people. Yeah, he sent a strong message today, man. It's a sad day when you figure out that you got an owner that's really truly trying to control the narrative, and then when you under him some kind of way, he pretty much showed, like this clip that I got from Scott.
Our subjects.
That's how he view him.
Yeah, I mean, it's real, man. It's elitism, man, at its finest, man. That's what this thing is, and man, at the end of look, at the end of the day, I'm gonna give the interviews on 100.5 fans some friendly advice from the OC, from my heart to yours. Just be quiet right now. Don't say nothing else. Just lay low.
Yeah.
Just
they fighting for their life now.
Lay
on
low.
Twitter. They going back and forth.
Listen to me. Listen carefully, boss. Hold on.
I'm listening.
Unless you got another job lined up, or you got a stash of cash that you can make it for a little bit, okay? Do not get on that show and piss that dude off no more the rest of this year. Don't do it. Just chill out. That's from my heart to yours. Let the OC do it. Let Boss Cowboy do it. Let Law Nation say a word or two. But you have a family? No. You got kids? No. Don't do it. Just chill out for your own good, okay? And just be cool. Don't say nothing else, because if you do, he's subject after food. I mean, just
world we live
that's
in.
my advice.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because that's cold-blooded for you to have to think about your mortgage, your kids, and all that kind of stuff just because you doing your job. And I'm looking at them, man. They fighting back. Look at this. Look, the media fighting back. Mike Leslie said Jerry Jones probably could fire Shan and RJ. He shouldn't, but he probably could. He can fire all of us, and until they start winning more games, the questions aren't changing.
Now that Mike Leslie, he's something else though. He gonna fight. I like him. Yeah. What did Slater say?
See, now y'all have to listen to me. You have to protect James Slater at all costs. I'm dead serious. Her level of honesty is just different. She said normally you get called to the office or your boss gets the call, but the real-time threat was something. Well, people also don't realize, and I'm not excusing it, but he does always apologize, and there is a smooth over. It's just how the beat works. But see, he said normally you get called to the office or your boss. See, that's her basically putting it out there. That's how he moves when he's trying to control the narrative, that these media people are having their jobs at risk when they're just doing the job of asking questions. Sometimes not even tough questions. Just questions that agitate him. This is wild. We cannot unsee this.
I don't like that though. Don't piss down my back and say it's raining, and then you find out there's piss, and then you say, "Oh, I apologize." That's what he's a good apology. He really apologizes really well. That's what Slater's saying.
Yeah.
Basically. She's saying that, but he does always apologize. He apologized with the smooth. Maybe put the camera back on me. You know what I'm saying? maybe. Oh, okay, Jerry. Oh, shit. Okay, all right.
Hey, one more time, Law. One more time. In case the people see you got one more time, Law.
You know, yeah, man. Oh, okay, all right. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, sending me flowers and stuff, you know, sending me all inclusive trips and stuff like that. Some people, Jerry, I need one of them. So tomorrow, if y'all see me put some cover over it, y'all know Jerry done.
Well, look, let me ask a question about that. Look. If you Chris Rock and you got slapped from here to northern Canada by Will Smith, okay, the slap, then he comes on, you know, a month or so later and apologizes. How do you feel?
Man?
I don't know if I trust it.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, I mean, and what I'm saying, I'm not saying be unforgiving. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying don't give people no chance. I'm saying at some point you got to have some dignity as a person. You got to have a little bit of dignity. And so what you do when you go on that show, you talk to these grown men like they are your toddler sons. Not even your toddler sons, because you never would talk to your toddler sons that way. You talk to you talk to them like they are your help's children. They are like your maid's children. You better look back, kids. You gotta sit over there and be quiet before I fire your mama. It's like whoa. It's like just show the guy some dignity, and that's my statement about that. Show the men some dignity. That's it. Dignity.
So I'm gonna jump into the final word. Did we have some super chats?
Man, let me check over here. I got a few over here, man. I appreciate
I got about 3 of them. Before we give our final words, I want to get to these super chats.
Okay.
But y'all stay around for my final word because I think I got the answer. We can play contract. It's what my boy Chris Tuanfo said. We play contract. We don't play common sense. It's been proven time and time again. Yeah, man. And see, if we gonna have to get you to talk about that over the phone one day because people don't get that. I know what he's saying.
Right.
Basically, if they pay you, they're going to force it to you. He's right on that. Yeah. So that's to me why we seeing this over passing attack because they just paid CeeDee Lamb and they just paid Dak. So forget run balance. No, we just paid them guys, so we getting ready to use those guys. Same thing we saw with La'el Collins and Steele. We saw that. Same thing we saw with Pollard and Zeke. We saw it when Zeke had the big contract and Pollard was starting to ascend, and Zeke hurt his knee. That's the time they should have rested Zeke, let him get healthy. But because they paid him, you know, it was like we still gonna give you a boatload of carries, and where Pollard should have had more carries during that period. He right on that. That's a very powerful super chat. And then my boy Hot Rob just gave $5, man, just showing love. And then can you believe we are 28 in rushing attempts, which is the point I was making. That's the exact point I was making. And then I got another $10 super chat at the start of the show. He said, get your popcorn ready. He knew we was going to tackle this Jerry situation and we was going to have Stacy on. Hopefully we, gave y'all what y'all came for on that. What's your super chats, Big Dog?
Yeah. And to be fair, Stacy internet got good at the end,
Yeah.
So next time we'll have him on, maybe we'll have it more concise with that speed.
His internet was smooth at the end. He figured it out.
Yeah, he figured it out, man. And appreciate him for coming on to the show, boss. I sent you that clip, part 2. Maybe you can chop that up and go in on it on the episode because I think it's some valuable information, some rubies in there.
I'll check it out. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
You emailed it to me?
I put it in, I emailed it to you, so you'll be able to see it, bro. I don't know if you can zoom into this, but it says Samson's appreciate you, man, for your support. It looks like Zeke lost his burst, and I'm a fan of him. If the line doesn't blow it perfect, he is done. And I get it. The done product is that Zeke lost some explosions. I'm not even trying to use him in that way. That's what I'm trying to convey. I'm trying to use Zeke in short yardages, right? When we inside that Browns, I know Browns a little trash a little bit, but we inside the Browns one, we use Zeke, and I think he can use his skill set to get the touchdown. Sampson also says we are not good enough to waste carries. Well, yeah, they can all hear me. Dudes tripping. That's Avery Jones, appreciate you for your support. Sampson, man, you sponsor the show today, man. The love for his son making him biased. I respect that. I would do the same, but our eyes don't lie. The Lions game is the tape. Red zone back.
Well, shoot, get your $10,000 if you believe that. Put it on film.
But see, here's my only rebuttal to that. Well, if Zeke is so terrible and trash, and how come Rico is not getting it done? How come Deuce is not getting it done? Hunter, why when they giving them their spoonful of opportunities, how come they are not looking like the other running backs that's in the league right now? That's all I'm saying. Like, it's not just Zeke, it's multiples.
Right.
So that's what
it's all of them, because none of them are
getting
the touches.
Of
right.
Yeah.
And then the one time they gave one of them, that's the one y'all like. That's what you see what I'm saying? None of y'all like Rico until they gave Rico the proper touches, and it was only once, and it was the second half of Pitt. But now you Rico fans. Y'all wasn't liking Rico before the Pitt game because y'all was saying he was sorry. So is it really that they're sorry or they're not getting a chance to run the ball?
And if they looking like that, man, what do Cooks look like then? What
Oh my God!
He must be.
He would have no factor.
He must look like me out there trying to run. Law tells Zeke daddy to go to bed so he can read my super chat. Damn. Them boys are getting they're putting the degrees of heat on Stacy. And he is correct. That's for the 199. Maybe you're talking about my guy, Big Game James. Chris 214 with the $5 support. He says the way he views and expect the radio host to act is the same way he expect the head coach. And trickles down to the water boy. Great.
That's a great super chat. That's a great super chat.
That's a great one.
Man,
great one. And then Cowboys Trey $4.99 for your mind. We almost finished. Cowboy Nation was bigger than the fan. He will be talking to us fans. And I'm gonna try to clarify that a little later. But it says Samson states also for the $4.99. Samson, man, boy, you got that big money, man. Hey,
boy, we're dropping today. Boy
Jerry
had
Jones
something to say.
didn't pay you now, didn't he?
That boy had something to say, didn't he, boy?
questions.
Samson had something to say.
In consenting way, Stephen A. gave his flowers while asking important questions. So he was saying they were condescending. The way that they were asking the questions there.
They were condescending.
I don't think they were, but they knew. They knew that it would piss him off to a degree because he views his strategy like, let me use this example. He views by putting raisins on a potato salad that it should be good. And by us saying, take the raisins out, he's getting pissed off about it. Y'all get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's how he viewing. Like, he said that his team should still have a chance and a capability to win this past Detroit game, right?
No chance.
So this is how it goes, man. But back to Ezekiel Elliott's dad on fighting for his son. He's doing what we would do. I would go to the edge of the earth if I had a son, playing in the NFL to defend him. And I think that that's part of it. On top of that, he's also looking at it because I saw the passion when he said this. This dude, Derrick Henry, had 28 attempts. His son only had 3. You can't do the quantitative or comparisons analysis because both of those backs are volume backs. And if you look at Henry, first 2-3 runs, he's not getting a lot of yards. And that's what he was saying. And he pulled that up on the stat sheet. I was like, well, hey, I can't argue that.
She's right about
Derrick
that.
Henry is a volume back because after the third and fourth run, people are like, hey, man, I'm checking out. I ain't finna tackle this big old dude. But Derrick Henry is still explosive and big. And I'm not saying that I wouldn't want Derrick Henry here, but I'm looking at the way Mike McCarthy calling these plays and Jeff Blasco. I don't think that they would still be calling the right proper plays.
Right. I don't think Derrick Henry will make a difference in Dallas with the amount of carries. I just don't.
Yeah.
You not go get everybody that say they want Derrick Henry. He wouldn't matter if they only gave him 3 touches and 4 touches. He would be
out. Yeah.
He would look sorry too. Y'all would call him washed. I promise you.
I promise you. Yeah.
That's true.
So I want to get into my final words. This is where I agree with Stacy. I think before, because I see a lot of people and they greatly believe that. Hold on real quick. Somebody just
gotta stop it. Stop, pump the brake. You gotta read that one, boss.
Yeah, you know I am. Somebody dropped 40. And he got a Lambo as a screenshot, so he ain't playing. My boy say, you go read this $40. Yes, I am, sir. Yes, I am. Just like, is this Jerry? Is Jerry sending this? Jerry, are you trying to tell me that you was buying me?
Jerry, wait,
Jerry, is that you? $40 super chats? Is that you, Jerry? He said, we may have overrated our O-line coming into the season. We need better linebackers and DNs. Thank you. And I keep hearing that, and that might be the case. Which is a perfect super chat on what I'm getting ready to say as my final word. We've given pass happy 6 games. Can we try run heavy 1? Can we see if that offensive line will get going if you get them going early on the run instead of trying to have them run the ball sporadically and out of shotgun? Can we first try to have them not playing on their heels first and then judge them? That's where I agree with Stacy. You know, it's before we check out on the offensive line and before we check out on the whole running back room, I think we need to give them a chance to see first. That's number 1. Number 2, the biggest thing to me about today, and obviously I greatly appreciate that $40, man. That's a big contribution. The biggest thing about today is this to me. If this does not confirm to people that has been rocking with new media, the importance of new media, I don't know what will. If you don't see that people of power will then use their money and their power and their influence to try to control the narrative, then you don't understand the value of new media. The reason why Law can be unapologetically honest and Boss can be unapologetically honest, let me ask you a question. Did Big change up at all when Stacy Elliott sat down?
Nope.
Did he change? Or did he still say exactly what he says to us?
Exactly the same. Man.
He said the same things. Why? Because y'all support him. He owe you. When Jerry is paying you, he's gonna come to you like you owe him. This should confirm to everybody that supports us why to support us even more. And there's things you can do even if you don't have the money. So obviously super chats are important. Obviously cash apps are important. But also supporting us is shares, telling people about us, helping people subscribe, telling people to like. Everything that y'all do, I would say take it up. Take it up to another level, because today should make you appreciate new media. That's my final word. You got to appreciate new media when you know you can't come to us and be like, I wish somebody would come to me like Jerry came to them. I wish. You know what I mean? I wish. But they can't do that because they don't pay me like that. That's my final word.
Good one.
And I'll go. Let Law go last, man. Yeah. So at the end of the day, man, the Cowboys are in a situation to where they're going to have to make immediate changes in terms of strategy. If they don't make personnel decisions, it's going to have to be their strategy to make them competitive versus good teams. This San Francisco game coming up, yeah, man, this is going to be a rough one, man. It looks like it's going to be a rough game. But I'm going to say this. If they make adjustments and have some tough practices, they can come back and be a much more competitive and viable team, even with a depleted team. But listen, Zim has to be more creative on that defense. You got to move pieces around. You got to slam people. You got to stump people. You got to bring run blitzes. You got to do different things to try to keep the offense off balance. And then Mike McCarthy has to do the same offensively. So this is a situation to where if you don't have the personnel, you're going to have to be creative. And it was really great to hear Mr. Elliott's perspective about his son. And it was fun talking to him. So that's my final word.
Yeah. So my final word is this right here, man. If they have to call me to be the running back, man, they're going to have to figure out ways to get back to the run. They're going to have to figure out ways to get back to playing true traditional football. We talked about this the last time we won 30 for 30. That don't change at all. We got to figure out ways to get back to balance of football. It helps out the quarterback. Dak Prescott is a play-action quarterback. I think that he really prevails and do great when it's like that. The Cowboys can't be a pass-happy team.
Right.
The Cowboys must figure out ways to get back to their run game, regardless of whether or not it's Zeke, Rico, me, Tiny Deuce Vaughn, Hunter Luepke. We got to figure this out because at the end of the day, we got to stop playing politic ball and play some real football, Cowboy Nation. So it is what it is, man. Shout out to everybody, man, for y'all support, y'all ultimate time here on these particular days. But Jerry, we ain't for it to be bald over here. Now we are to a degree. Now Jerry, I'm still waiting for that check. We're doing some soft punches over here. But in the meantime, in the between time, stand tall or not at all, Cowboy Nation. Let's get it. Let's go.
3, 2, 1, drop it. Remember, you're listening to nothing but the best.
I got all kind of soft punches for you with the right check. They gonna be punches, but they gonna be soft.
I just wanna run it up. Kinda check or something. I've been really in the field, let up. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal. Lately I just wanna run it up. Kinda check or something. Lately I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count it up, count it up. Lately I just wanna run it up. Need them ones, I need them fives, need them tens, I need that change to the safe, got blues inside. Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses when I play, charge it to the game. I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T Black, I'm with Reverend now. I'm with Bay, yeah, I'm with Jay, yeah, I'm with Chuck and now. Still the same, not switching sides, now it's about loyalty. You switch sides off for the bag, and that's worth more to me. I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately I just wanna